Yo, it's Chimmy, and I'm back with another Hardcore Nuzlocke video. Today, I'm going to be attempting to beat a Hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Platinum, but I can only use shiny Pokemon. Chimmy, but what are shiny Pokemon? I'm pretty sure you know what shiny Pokemon are, but I'll still tell you. Shiny Pokemon are different versions of the Pokemon we all know and love, but they are very hard to come by. More specifically, there are 1 in 8,192 chance to find these shiny Pokemon. So yeah, I have no life, and that's why I did this video for you guys. Before I tell you the rule set to this run, I have to tell you that I recorded every single reaction of my shiny Pokemon just so you guys know it was legit and I didn't fake anything. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. I'm gonna throw the rules onto the screen right now, but here are the simple ones. Permadeath, no items in battle, and we had to play on set mode. And with that, can I beat a Pokemon Platinum Hardcore Nuzlocke using only shiny Pokemon? We start off our journey by picking our first Pokemon with our rival Fastman Berry. Follow his Twitch, the link is in the description. And obviously I'm gonna go after Pip. So we start off shiny hunting for our Pokemon Chimchar. And when I tell you, this took me hours upon hours of find, and then for this to happen.
Get a picture with your mom.
Damn, bro.
Come on, honey.
It's messed up.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it to you guys, but I ran away from my shiny Chimchar. You can see it in the reaction. I screamed my lungs out. But thankfully, I talked to my peers and they said just to give the Chimchar back to myself. So I went on PK Hex and yeah, I have a shiny Chimchar now. That's the start of our journey. As my rival takes me to Lake Acuity, we happen to cross paths with the leader of the Smurfs. I have no idea what this guy does. He looks evil though. I finally make it to Professor Rowan's lab, and he gives me the option to nickname my newly found shiny Chimchar. And the only option I could think of, the only nickname, was Luffy. So in the comments, please tell me if you guys know what the nickname theme is. Since I'm a lunatic and I do shiny hunts, I decided to go for my second shiny right away. So another 12 hours later, and in the middle of class, this is what happens. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, I got it. I fucking got it. Oh my god, I got it. Oh my god, I got it. Oh my god, I got it. Everyone started looking at me like if I was a crazy person or something, but they just wouldn't understand. I'm just built different. The Shinx is a sassy nature, which is whatever. I mean, it's pretty bad. It lowers speed but ups special defense. And he has the ability Rivalry, which is terrible. Intimidate would have been so much better. And we name him Chopper. As I'm training Chimchar to the level cap, he evolves into a very powerful Monferno. Now Rourke shall know true pain. Our battle begins with Rourke the Dork, and the strategy here is to just Mach Punch everything in sight with Luffy. The first Pokemon Rourke sends out is Geodude, and this one's a very simple fight. One Mach Punch takes him down to below half as he uses a Stealth Rock, and the next Mach Punch takes him out. Next up is the Onix, and I have a plan for this Onix. My plan is to use Taunt so he can't Screech me, because if he uses Screech, it gives Cranidos a better chance of KOing me. As I use Taunt, Onix goes for Rock Throw and it leaves me with 40 HP. On the following turn, I go for a Mach Punch that does a little bit less than half, as he uses another Rock Throw that leaves me with 33 HP. Rourke uses a potion on the Onix as I hit him with another Mach Punch, and then on the following turn, one more Mach Punch is enough to KO the Onix. Out comes the Cranidos, and by the grace of God, I was able to critical hit with a Mach Punch, giving me the first badge of this run. Let's go! Now that we defeated the first gym, our level cap rises to 22, giving us the chance to evolve Shinx into a Luxio. That golden skin looks so beautiful on you. On my way to Jubilife City, I see Professor Rowan giving the roast of the lifetime to these galactic goons. These guys didn't know what they had coming to them. Our next major fight is against the planet Mars, and she has a very scary fat cat named Purugly, so we have to play around crits from that. The battle starts off with Chopper one-shotting this Zubat because Zubat sucks. And now here's the Fat Cat. I know the Fat Cat is gonna go for Fake Out, so I'd rather take it with the Luxio than the Monferno. After I get hit by Fake Out, I go for Leer, risking the crit from the Fat Cat, and I was able to land it without getting crit. As I switch out to Monferno, the Fat Cat goes for Scratch, and of course I get crit, leaving me with 24 HP. Luckily, next turn I go for Mach Punch, doing more than half damage as she heals with a berry. Thankfully, I live on 11 HP, not getting crit by Scratch, and the following turn I can knock out Purugly with the Mach Punch. After I scare away these scientific goons, the little girl comes back to smell her dad, and then she roasts her dad saying, "You smell bad, daddy, leave me alone." Like, jeez girl, give your dad a break, he was just held hostage for God knows how long, you ungrateful fuck. After walking back from looking at the weird statue over there, I cross paths with Cynthia, and oh my god, she looks as dreamy as ever. And she gives me the TM for cut. Does that mean she wants to cut me in bed? The fight with Gardenia goes as expected. One flame wheel is enough to KO Twig 387. Next up is Cherim, and Cherim is so bad that I go from flame wheel, leaving her with red HP as she uses safeguard. Like, what is the AI? One more flame wheel is enough to do the trick. Lastly is her ace, Rose Raid, and she stands no chance. She lands a stun spore, paralyzing me, but with one flame wheel is enough to KO. And with that, we have acquired a second badge. Call me Gardenia! Now it's time to fight Jupiter, and she just completely sucks if you know what you're doing. So one spark is enough to KO the Zubat, and following up is her Skunk Tank. And since this fight is very unimportant, I just skipped to the part where Flame Wheel takes out the Skunk Tank even though I'm on 4 HP. Yeah, don't worry, Luxio is still alive. Wow, I thought I wouldn't see you again for a while, Cynthia. It's always a pleasure to see you. Whoa, what do you mean? You want to give me your egg? Now that we got our bicycle and 2 gym badges, we can go on ahead and cross the cycling road and get to where we're going to get our 3rd encounter. Hopefully we can get a Gible. What we're looking for is Gible. So keep in mind, what we're looking for is Gible. We are not searching for a Zubat. We are not searching for a Bronzor. I mean, Bronzor wouldn't be that bad. And we're for sure not searching for a freaking Geodude. So after like 4 or 5 hours, I don't really remember, we got our shiny, and you will not believe who we got. Yes, man. Oh my god. Thank the Lord. It's a Gible. Oh my god. Thank God, dude. Let's go! We got a shiny Gible, and that's like a 20% chance. By the grace of God, we got probably one of the most OP Pokemon and probably one of the worst shiny Pokemon of all time in Garchomp. But I don't care because now I can sweep the whole game with a Garchomp. After getting this amazing shiny and Gible, we run into the Lord of the Smurfs again, and he's trying to tell me some nonsense about taking over the world, but I'm too excited about Gible, so I completely ignore him. Before the fight with Fantina, I evolved Gible into Gadbite and we're ready for war. This fight with Fantina was so brutal. We had to rely so hard on sand attack strats, and I hate doing that. So the battle begins with me literally just hitting the Duskull with 6 sand attacks with Kaido. And if I don't do that, I'm pretty sure I can't win this fight at all. After being burnt and being left on 1 HP, Kaido did his mission successfully and we go out into Luxio. The reason we set up 6 sand attacks was so I can go out into Luxio and set up 6 charges without getting hit or burnt. After setting up the 6 charges, I go for Bite and I thankfully flinch the Duskull, and then on the next turn we KO. Up next is Haunter, and Haunter can be scary if he starts landing Hypnosis, but thankfully I still have a Lumberry in the stash. Haunter uses Hypnosis, and thanks to the Lumberry, I wake up and I land a massive bite that leaves him in the red. On the next turn, Fantina uses a Super Potion, but she meets the same fate as another bite takes him to the red. She then lands another Hypnosis and we fall asleep. But on the next turn, she goes for Sucker Punch, leaving me with 47 HP as I wake up first turn to KO the Haunter with the bite. Out comes the Mismagius, and from here it's an all-out battle between me and her. 4 turns of Shadow Balls and bites later, and I come out victorious with 9 HP as the Mismagius finally goes down. And with that, that is the 3rd gym leader down. Woo. Shortly after, on our way to Veilstone City, Luxio evolves into a Luxray, and that shiny is so gorgeous. Since there's not much that happens, we just go straight into the Maylene fight. The battle starts off with Meditite using Fake Out on the Gabite, and of course I flinch. Then on the next turn I am able to KO with the 1 Earthquake. Next up is the big scary Ace Lucario, but since I'm a ground type and he is a steel type, this doesn't bring that much of a challenge. He does outspeed and hits us with a strong Force Palm, but we do live on 36 HP without getting paralyzed, and 1 Earthquake is enough to KO the Lucario. With the Machoke coming out, we're being a little bit risky by leaving out Kaido, but if I bring out anything else, it will be probably one shot. I outspeed and I hit 1 Earthquake, leaving Machoke in the yellow, and then thankfully I was able to live 1 strength, leaving me with 4 HP. And on the next turn, I KO the Machoke with an Earthquake, and that gives us the 4th badge. Let's go. Haha, look at me, I'm a frog. We skip past the rival battle because it's a total breeze, so we are just going to go straight into the Crush Awake battle. We taught our Infernape Grass Knot so we can be able to deal with the Quagsire since we have no grass types. And with that, the battle begins. Crusher Wake sends out Gyarados as I send out Luxray, and with no one's surprise, I live a Waterfall and I KO with a Spark. Next up is the Quagsire, and knowing he's gonna go for Mudshot, I switch out into Infernape and I tank the Mudshot with ease. And on the next turn, I'm able to one-shot with the Grass Knot. The last Pokemon is Floatzel, and this Pokemon can easily sweep our team, so we have to be careful with how we play this. Me being a dumbass, I go for close combat thinking I outspeed, and to my surprise, he outspeeds and lands a Brine, leaving me with 3 HP as I land a close combat, leaving him with almost less than half. Predicting an Aqua Jet, I switch out into Luxray, and that's exactly what happens. I eat that up and my Citrus Berry heals me up to over half. So I risk it for the biscuit and I survive a crunch from Floatzel, and I end up killing the Floatzel with a Spark. Thank God we didn't lose any Pokemon during this battle. Now it's on to Byron. Yo, Barry, are you trying to steal my whole flow? What's wrong with you? I'm the OG frog, not you. After I teach Barry the way of the frog, we see a Galactic Goon blow up the Safari Zone and then run away like all accomplished. Like, what are you doing, bro? The whole thing just went kaboom and you're happy? What's wrong with you, you imbecile? After dealing with the goon that blew up the Safari Zone, I make it to this cave where an old lady comes up to me and talks to me. And then of course, the leader of the Smurfs is back. The leader of the Smurfs decides to battle me, and you know what? I just smack him silly and he looks like a fool. And he runs away like a little girl, like all these goons look like. Now that we acquired Surf, we can surf to Canalave City, and now we have a fight with Barry. This fight goes very simple. The fight starts off with Luxray hitting a Spark on the Staraptor, leaving it with red HP. But on the next turn, Staraptor uses Takedown, does maximum damage to me, but she just falls down to the recoil. Next up is Heracross, and for Heracross, I switch out into Infernape and I just one-shot with a Flamethrower. Then next up is Floatzel, and Floatzel uses an Aqua Jet, but I live on 32 HP and I'm able to KO with a close combat. Let me take this time to explain to you why my rival has an Infernape just like me. The reason why Barry has an Infernape is because before I started the run, I went on the Universal Pokemon Randomizer and I switched a Turtwig with a Chimchar, and I forgot to make Chimchar a Turtwig. So yeah, I only did that to make my life easier when shiny hunting, so I won't ever do that again. Anyways, Infernape comes out and I switch out to Kaido, and I'm able to one-shot the Infernape with an Earthquake after taking a strong Brick Break. Barry's last Pokemon is a Roserade, and I take care of that with 1 Earthquake, and just like that, we just destroyed Barry. We fast forward to the Byron fight, and this is how it goes. Byron sends out his Magneton as I send out Gabite. But 1 Earthquake is all I need to KO the Magneton in one shot. The next Pokemon that comes up for Byron is a Steelix, and mind you, I have no idea that Steelix has Ice Fang, so I go for an Earthquake, leaving with a little bit less than half as he lands a powerful Ice Fang, leaving me with 21 HP. That was a close one. Not knowing if I can KO with an Earthquake, I switch out into Infernape and I tank an Ice Fang. The next turn, I'm able to KO the Steelix with a close combat. And Byron's final Pokemon, Bastiodon, just gets KO'd by a close combat as well. This badge has been way too easy. After the 6th gym badge, Professor Rowan starts to give us a lesson about how you guys should subscribe to the channel and like the video. If you subscribe to my channel, all the girls are gonna want you, so just do it, man. It helps. On our way to Snow Point City, we have to fight Saturn and Mars, and I'm not even gonna show the fights because it's too easy and we just bop them on the head. So, guess what? We're just gonna go straight into the battle, guys. Let's see. How should I explain this to you guys? This battle was actually very difficult. Infernape starts off by one-shotting the Sneasel with one flamethrower. Then, Piloswine comes out and gets one-shot by the Infernape too. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Then it comes out to Froslass and goes for a double team. So you know what I do? I flamethrower the Froslass too. Finally comes out the Abomasnow, and you would not believe what happens. I one-shot with the flamethrower as well. This was crazy. 7th gym badge acquired. In the Galactic Hideout, we see Cyrus talking to a whole bunch of goons saying that we are going to take over the universe. Us Smurfs are unstoppable. I think I should put a stop to that. After reviewing what Cyrus's team looks like, I decide that I have to shiny hunt for one more Pokemon before I fight him. So that's exactly what we get to do. We start shiny hunting for our 4th team member, and after like 12 to 13 hours, this is what happens.
Get in the fucking car.
Whoa, whoa, is that a fucking shiny? Is that a fucking shiny? That's a fucking shiny. That has to be, right? Bro, I'm just watching 21 Jumps. Is that a fucking shiny? No way. No way, am I finally getting a shiny? Oh my god, it's a shiny! Oh my god, yes! Yes! Can you believe that for like 20 seconds I didn't even realize I got a shiny Staravia because I was so entertained watching 21 Jump Street? You heard it here first, guys. 21 Jump Street gives you the best shiny odds in the world. Now that Staravia has evolved into a Staraptor, I am ready to fight Cyrus. Post-recording Chimmy here, and I have to tell you guys something. You're gonna see a slight drop in the quality of the gameplay, and that's because for like a week or something like that, my PC was out of service, meaning that I was installing a new graphics card, installing new RAM, waiting for it to get here, etc. So I had to record the rest of the gameplay on my laptop, so that's why it looks a little bit off compared to the rest of the gameplay, so I'm sorry about that. The battle starts off with Infernape one-shotting the Sneasel with one flamethrower. Next out is Crobat, and knowing that he only has Air Cutter, I risk it and I go for flamethrower, doing more than half. Then, the next turn, he uses an Air Cutter, leaving me with 26 HP as I KO with the flamethrower. The final Pokemon of Cyrus's is Honchkrow, and I switch out into Luxray so I can take a Drill Peck. And on the following turn, we one-shot with the Spark. That was actually pretty easy. We teleport a Spear Pillar, and it's time. It's time for the dreaded battle between Mars and Jupiter, and me and Barry. Explaining this battle is gonna take ages, so I'm just gonna highlight some of the hype moments of the battle. Infernape one-shots the Bronzor with a crit Shadow Claw. Then, Luxray murders the Golbat with a Spark. Afterwards, the Fat Cat and the Fat Skunk are both out, and I'm able to one-shot the Fat Cat with a close combat with Pell. Then finally, one Earthquake from Kaido and a takedown from Staraptor is enough to kill the Skuntank, and we win the fight against Jupiter and Mars. After the battle, a whole bunch of anime cutscenes and stuff starts happening, and then at the end of it, we see a big, bad, scary black thing come out and just swipe Cyrus away. Ooh, I'm so scared. Before going inside the Distortion World, Gabite evolves into a Garchomp and we're ready to fight Cyrus. Again. Also, before fighting Cyrus, I kind of give myself 99 berries of everything because technically we can farm berries, but I don't have the time for it, so I just decided to tell you guys because I don't want to cheat or make it seem like I'm cheating. So yeah, bye bye. The fight with Cyrus begins, and he sends out a Houndoom as I send out Kaido. To no one's surprise, one Earthquake is enough to KO the Houndoom. Now with Garchomp out, that baits Weavile into the battle. Predicting the Ice Punch, I switch out into Infernape and I tank the Ice Punch with ease. On the following turn, I have to tank another Ice Punch, but it's too easy and I one-shot with a close combat. Now is the big bad Gyarados, and that's pretty scary, but I have a plan for it. I switch out into Staraptor now, intimidating the Gyarados, making him have -1 as I take a Waterfall. Then on the next turn, I switch out to Infernape, predicting the Ice Fang, and on the following turn, I switch out back to Staraptor, giving him a -2 attack. Now that he has -2 attack, I can easily go out into Luxray, take an Earthquake, and one-shot with the Spark. Next up is a Honchkrow, and I just one-shot with the Spark as well. The final Pokemon is Crobat, and this is pretty scary, but not to worry, Luxray is here. Crobat goes for cross poisoning, leaving me with 53 HP, but I retaliate with a Spark, leaving him with a sliver of HP. On the following turn, Cyrus uses a full restore, but that doesn't matter because a Spark just KOs. I got a high roll, and with that, Cyrus has been defeated with a pretty easy fight. So guess what my crazy ass decides to do? As my final shiny, I decide to shiny hunt his Giratina because the shiny is so beautiful, and you know what? I don't care what you people say. I want to use a legendary and I want it to be Giratina. As I'm 2 hours in a stream with Zango, follow his YouTube by the way, he makes amazing content. This is what happens.
The shiny is dope though. Unless you're... I like it. Oh, Mewtwo is ugly. Mewtwo is ugly. Oh my god. Dude, I'm about to start crying.
I don't know how I did it. This is full odds, 1 in 8,196 or whatever. I was able to get a shiny Giratina in literally 2 hours. I was blessed by God or something, but that made my life so much easier, saving me so much time. Like, I'm so grateful. Gracias. Just look at him. What a beautiful shiny. Shiny Giratina, you're very, 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 very beautiful. Welcome to the team. As we're making it to Sunny Shore City, we run into Ronald McDonald trying to sell me some Big Macs. I don't want no Big Macs, bro. Get out of my way. Alright, Volkner, let's have a great battle.
TJ on the beat.
Okay, bye Volkner. We make it to the Elite Four and we have to face off with Barry one more time. And as expected, it's just a complete sweep, so time for the Elite Four, baby. Here's a team of shinies. Let me know in the comments if you think we win the run or not. I'm pretty sure we win, but who am I to know? First up is Aaron, the bug user of the Elite Four. This battle should be easy, but let's see what happens. Aaron starts off with Yamenga as I send out Infernape. I easily one-shot with one flamethrower. Then comes out the Ace Drapion already, so I pivot to Garchomp as I tank an Aerial Ace, and then on the next turn I one-shot with an Earthquake. Next up is Heracross, so I switch out to Pell the Staraptor as I tank a -1 close combat that does too much damage either way. On the next turn I KO with the Brave Bird, leaving me with 50 HP because of recoil. Following the Heracross is Vespiquen, so I switch out into Garchomp, I tank a Power Gem, and on the following turn I'm able to one-shot with a Rock Slide. The final Pokemon is a Scizor, so I switch out into Infernape, I tank an Iron Head, and one Flamethrower is enough to give me the first win of the Elite Four. Second in line is Bertha, the Ground type user, and this fight could be difficult, so I think there might be a sacrifice that I have to do. The battle starts off with Bertha sending out a Whiscash against my Infernape. Since I don't have a water type or a grass type, the only way I can defeat this Whiscash is by hitting Grass Knots. The first Grass Knot hits doing more than half as I get hit by a powerful Earth Power. But guess what? I came prepared. I gave myself a Shuka Berry, that way I can weaken the power of Earth Power, leaving me with 120 HP. The following turn I KO the Whiscash with a Grass Knot. The following Pokemon is a Gliscor, and my only answer for this Gliscor is sending out Giratina. Gliscor hits me with an Earthquake as I hit him with a Dragon Pulse doing more than half. And on the following turn, one more Earthquake takes me down to like 154 HP and I KO with a Dragon Pulse. The next Pokemon is Hippowdon, and this Hippowdon gave me so much trouble, it was so annoying. Instead of dying to some Dragon Pulses from Giratina, it decides to live with a sliver of HP, making me go to sleep and landing a crunch giving me 77 HP. So after all that baloney happens, I switch out to Garchomp and I set up one Swords Dance. And on the following turn, 1 Earthquake plus 2 is not even enough to KO the Hippowdon, and he makes me go to sleep. Since Staraptor is immune to ground type attacks, I switch out and I don't get hit by Earthquake. On the following turn, 1 quick attack is enough to KO the Hippowdon. Next up is Golem, and I don't really have any answer for this except switching out into Infernape, and I could have saved Staraptor here looking back at the footage, but whatever. I go for close combat, leaving Golem with a sliver of health as I get KO'd by 1 Thunder Punch. Rest in peace, Staraptor. Your shiny was really cool, and you were cute. May you rest in peace. I switch out into Infernape and I KO with the Grass Knot. And the following Pokemon is her Ace Rhyperior, and she stands no chance to a 1 Grass Knot, and that is the victory. But we won with a sacrifice. The third member of the Elite Four was Ronald McDonald, and this was a sweep. I don't even have to explain half the shit that went on. All you have to know is that Kaido set up 2 Swords Dance and just earthquaked the shit out of everyone. But just for content's sake, here's this clip of what happened. You stink! Finally, we make it to Lucian, and this is a Psychic type Elite Four member. He's going to be trouble. Let's see what happens. I start off by sending out Luxray as he sends out Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime outspeeds as he sets up a Reflect, which means he can live a crunch from Luxray. The following turn, Lucian uses a full restore on the Mr. Mime, and I just land another crit, leaving him with yellow health. On the following turn, Psychic does a little bit damage to Luxray, but I'm able to KO with a crunch. Next up is Bronzong, and my one hope against it is going out into Infernape, and I didn't even realize that when I switched out into Infernape, he used Calm Mind, and that was the beginning of the end. Normally a Flamethrower will KO Bronzong from full health, but since he used Calm Mind, it just threw me off my game. He lived with a quarter of health, and then he murdered Infernape with a Psychic. I am so livid right now that I lost my favorite Pokemon, especially his shiny form, and I don't even want to, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't even want to talk to anyone anymore. Just go out, Giratina, do your thing, man. I want to go cry. Giratina comes out and murders with an Ominous Wind. I'm still sad about Infernape. Next up is Espeon, and she lands a very strong Shadow Ball, leaving Giratina with 108 HP. But not to worry, I use Shadow Force, and on the next turn I am able to KO the Espeon with 1 shot. Alakazam is next, and Alakazam is always a scary Pokemon to go against, but not to worry, Giratina just tanks everything that he can throw at him. 1 Psychic, and I'm down to 38 HP, but I use Shadow Force, and on the next turn I'm able to KO the Alakazam with the Shadow Force. Then finally, Lucian's Ace Gallade is out, and 2 Earthquakes is enough to take out the Gallade, giving me the Elite Four victory. Cynthia, I'm sorry, I can't sim for you this time. I've lost 2 very important members to my team, so you know what? I'm just gonna sweep you with Garchomp, like, you should know true pain. The final battle starts off. On the first turn, I set up a Swords Dance as Spiritomb uses Dark Pulse. On the following turn, I use another Swords Dance, giving me a +4 attack as Spiritomb uses another Dark Pulse, leaving me below half. But thanks to the Citrus Berry, I'm able to go back to green. From here on out, Cynthia shall know true pain. I one-shot the Spiritomb with an Earthquake. I one-shot Garchomp with a Dragon Claw. I one-shot the Togekiss with a Rock Slide. I one-shot the Milotic with an Earthquake. And the Lucario dies to an Earthquake. The final Pokemon is her Roserade, and I think it's only fitting if Giratina is the Pokemon to get the final touches of Cynthia. So, with a couple Ominous Winds and Shadow Forces, Roserade goes down and I become the champion of Sinnoh. If you want me to be honest, shiny hunting is actually pretty fun when you have fast forward, and having those reactions, having the relief that I got the shiny Pokemon legitly, I'm for sure going to do this again. And don't worry, there's going to be a special twist to my next video outside of BDSP. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, if you enjoy my content, please sub up and like the video. But with all else, Chimmy out. Dale.